what are you doing?
Yeah, okay.
And let me know when you're got your thoughts composed and are ready.
Okay, I'm ready.
Okay, you're on.
Okay, hi, my name is Suzanne Erb. I'm with Networks for Training and Development actually in Valley Forge, Pennsylvania. Used to be in Philadelphia only, but now we're in Valley Forge and Sunbury, and we do stuff all over the country and all over the world, actually. But I'm here to talk about my experiences with assistive technology and all that assistive technology has done for me in my life. First, I'd like to introduce one of my assistive technologies who's lying on the floor here at my feet. Her name is Princess, and she does a lot of things. But what I think is really interesting is that we're starting to use dog guides and assistive technology and using GPSs and things, and who would have thought it? I just, isn't that wonderful that we're doing that now? I've been using assistive technology ever since I can remember, and I would like to pay homage and tribute to my Gutenberg. And the Gutenberg, I think, for all of us blind folks in the history, at least for the last 200 years, Louis Braille, who I think really sort of started assistive technology for the blind, as far as I can see. Louis Braille, of course, was the one who invented the code that we use now, which was named after him. And I suppose if I were in France, I'd have to say Braille. But since I'm not, I'll say Braille. It's easier. But I've been using his technology ever since I was 5 years old, and I think that has made it possible for me to go to college, get a master's degree, do all the good things that we're all expected to do, and maybe sometimes not expected to do. And it's enabled me to play music, read whatever I want, label things the way I want. And while we have many, many more technologies that we can choose from now today than Louis Braille ever had thought would be possible, perhaps. And these are very wonderful and laudable, and I use them all. I use an iPad, but guess what? I use it and I pair it with a Braille display, because with a refreshable Braille display, it gives me even more power, and it enhances everything else that an iOS device can do. And as much as I love my iOS devices, I love my computers, and I love my refreshable Braille displays, but I think what really makes them so wonderful partly is having the ability not only to listen, but also to read. One thing that concerns me about the field of assistive technology is that I'm afraid we're getting so technical, so high-tech. When your things break down, what do you do next? And I think we have to remember that it's so important to have things available that are low-tech enough that if our high-tech stuff breaks down, we've got some backups. So, I think it's great what we've been able to accomplish, but sometimes the simple solutions are best, and sometimes keeping it simple is not stupid. But in terms of a ResNA experience, I'm very new to ResNA, and I would just love to say just how wonderful an experience this has been for me. And I decided that I wanted to volunteer as long as I was going to be here, and I wanted to be here. And so I've done a little bit of volunteering through Linda Shapansky, and yesterday was my first experience. I thought I'm really going to get my feet wet, and so I volunteered, and I went into my first class, and I wanted to make sure that everybody knew about the CEUs that are available, so I showed them the piece of paper, or actually it's two pieces of paper because they're stapled, and they're a funny orange, see now I even forget the color, see this is not good, I forget the color, but some kind of funny orange color thing. And I told the group, I said, now I didn't know what color this was from using a color identifier. I decided to use a human interface this time. And so everybody thought that was funny, and I told them that this was my first time at RESNA, and they all clapped. And I just thought that was the most wonderful thing. This is such a wonderful, wonderful organization. And there's one person who's a real part of RESNA who unfortunately is not here this year, but who I think has really played a very important part in my life, and that is Rosa McAllister. When Rosa sent me the information about this sort of oral history project, I said, Rosa, I don't have anything to say. Who would want to hear what I have to say anyway? All I am is a user and an educator. I haven't invented anything. I haven't done anything all that creative. I'm just a user, and I love it, and what more can I tell you? And she said, well, think about it. And I thought about it, and I said, you know, yes, I do have opinions. I do have insights that I think I can share. One thing that I'm concerned about that I haven't really shared very much since I've been here is the tendency of our society to become increasingly visually oriented as time's gone by. I'd say just within my own lifetime, the prominence of radio has really gone by the wayside. Now it's television, everything's visual. And our society just tends to get that way. And no matter how much we try to remediate that through descriptive video services, you name it, OCR, you name it, we try to do it. It never ever completely replaces vision, and we, you know, people just seem to rely on visual cues more and more, pictures everywhere you go, graphic user interfaces. I mean, we all know how that affected blind folks when, you know, when Windows and Lisa first came on board. But now I love my Mac, you know, now the Mac, I love my Mac, and I'm not going to get into that right now. That's another talk show, but thank you so much for giving me a chance to speak, and I'm looking forward to my free Starbucks.
Thanks, Suzanne.
Thank you so much.
That was 5 minutes.
That was wonderful. That was the best.
Here's your card.
Hey, thanks. Hey, Jess. I got my Starbucks. We're going to use it tomorrow.